Buried Bones by Melinda Leigh. Performed by Jane Oppenheimer. Tessa retrieved her camera and spent the next half-hour documenting the scene. With every photograph, she became more convinced the body had been dumped. No camping gear, no trash, no personal effects, no outerwear. She found nothing in the clearing except for the body. Absorbed in the process, she lost track of time as she worked. Henry stood. Honestly, I'm not going to be able to tell you much. It would almost be easier to look at bare bones. He gestured to the remains. There's just enough skin and tissue remaining to conceal injuries. Without X-rays, it's hard to discern damage that occurred before or after death. The doctor studied the head. Except for random pieces of dark, dried tissue, the face was gone. But clumps of long strands of blonde hair were still attached to the skull. I don't see an obvious head injury. He scanned the rest of the body. I can't even confirm the sex of the victim. Going by the general size, the hair, and clothing, it appears female, but I can't be certain. Prior to his arrival on Widows, he'd had no experience as a coroner, but he'd made efforts to learn since his surprise appointment. Henry continued. Disturbing the clothing could damage the body. I believe the best course of action is to remove the body as is and transport it to the medical examiner on the mainland. Makes sense to me. Tessa spotted maggots on the corpse. I already photographed the body and scene. After the remains are removed, we'll take soil and insect samples from under and around the body. A forensic entomologist could study the life cycle of insects feeding on the body to further tighten the PMI. Henry stood. Let's get to it. Let's get the body bagged. He fetched the black body bag and spread it on the ground next to the victim. We need to distribute the weight as evenly as possible to keep what's left of her intact. They shifted the body. Tessa caught a flash of tarnished metal around the corpse's wrist. Wait! Henry bent closer. It's a medical alert bracelet. He brushed dirt from its surface with a gloved finger. Aurora Franklin. She had a nut allergy. They went silent for a moment. Those two tiny bits of information made their remains human in a way that wasn't merely biological. Aurora Franklin had been as real as Tessa. She'd had hopes and fears, triumphs and regrets. She'd lived and loved. And she'd been reduced to an empty shell of decomposing organic matter. A raptor's piercing cry broke the quiet. Tessa glanced up to see a hawk soar across the crystal blue sky. Her gaze immediately dropped to the body. Henry cleared his throat. Her emergency contact is Tony Franklin. There's a phone number. Tessa used her cell phone to snap a picture of the bracelet. Dread gathered in the pit of her stomach. Tessa stared at the corpse. How did you get here, Aurora? Beyond her initial horrifying appearance, the victim looked small and alone, with no personal items anywhere near her. As if she had been dumped there. Though it was up to the ME to determine the manner of death, Tessa knew in her own bones that this was a homicide.